Hey. You know what time it is.
Time for the Heart to Heart Journey to Love podcast.
Yes, and I am your host, Elaine Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlan Brown. And what's going on, Harlan Brown? What's going on? Another
Hey,
week.
what's going on, late bloomer? It's just
Well,
a
no, we just gonna get right into this. This is part two because you was animated the last time. It was so
I was
tender.
very touched by the comments. So
Yeah,
yes, I was.
I don't know what happened. We triggered something off, but we go build on that. So much so we forgot to put the scripture in the last one. So we got to make sure we get the scripture. So we gonna just go right into it. This is gonna be See Me Part Two.
Okay.
So just catch the audience up. Why are you so animated about what we were talking about in the See Me podcast?
Okay, because I thought it was a question that came from women, right? It was a question that came from a woman. And the question was about why would one guy see a woman's worth and another guy wouldn't? Now that was fine because we understand why one guy would see a woman's worth and another one wouldn't. And even as women, we know when a guy values us and when a guy doesn't value us. I think the part that triggered me was, and something that I've always had a mouth about since I was like young, um, is that people put time on women as if there is like they expire. Like it's like, oh, she's no more good. She's like, you'll never find them. And I don't think I personally don't think that, but I hope that women have enough confidence in themselves and enough um, just enough worth, knowing their worth and stuff, to know that they don't expire. Like, you don't expire. It doesn't matter what age you are. It may be difficult to meet somebody else, but come on. I don't think women expire. And that was my piece of it. Like, it wasn't anything about being valued or being seen. It's
Right.
just like, don't put an expiration date on women, because I
Well,
just feel like that's harsh. And I just thought it was not nice.
okay.
So
Well,
that was my thing.
to my defense, I never said expired, but it's all
No, you
good.
didn't say expired, but I'm just saying, women, they get desperate after a certain age.
Well, I didn't say
It's
desperate
like,
either. I didn't say
yeah,
desperate either.
you kind of alluded to there's a
No, we
women,
don't.
women start just, gravitating to what they can get because, they at a certain age and
And you
time
know what?
clocks. And I'm just like,
I'm
whoa.
gonna tell you what, we're gonna have a podcast next on what you putting words in my mouth, because I never
I'm
said
not
none of that
putting
stuff that
words
you're
in your
saying.
mouth. I'm just saying that's okay. If you didn't say it, you didn't say it. But
It was
don't
insinuated.
women don't yeah, women don't expire. And please have enough self-worth and confidence in yourself to know that you don't expire.
Well, I'm not letting
Don't
you off the hook on that
expire.
one because I didn't say any of that stuff you said. I never used expired. I never
You never
expired.
used expired. No, you didn't.
Right.
But we got, oh, when you get to a certain age. I mean, isn't it easier for a younger woman to find a man than an older woman to find a man? And then, like, it was just, I just got very like, no, we ain't gonna hit this age thing because I'm not going for it.
Yeah, and you have every right to defend your village, your women village on that. I was just saying, but again, you got to see who puts that out there. Women tag that on themselves. They'll say, I'm not getting any younger. Nobody's gonna want me. I don't want to be alone." These are the things that they say. I don't think men are telling them that, because I think men always feel that they want to have a chance with a woman, especially if they're getting up in age. There are younger women who, I mean, there are younger men who would like to have an older woman. You know what I
Yep,
mean? And older women have entertained that. I don't know why, but they have
yep,
entertained that
they have
where mothers are dating um,
young,
guys that are as young as their son or daughter, and that's
you know,
crazy to me.
the
Like,
YNs is what they call them.
I,
But yes, it is, that's a whole thing too. Like,
right, but and then
I just really wish that we would, like, I really wish that when we as women would find our worth and know that, you know, you don't have to resort to a YN. You don't have to resort to just anything. If you don't feel special and if you don't feel appreciated, then it's okay. Like I understand when people say they don't want to be alone, but how lonely is it to be in a relationship and you by yourself anyway? That's more lonely than
Yeah,
anything else that you can be in.
but you
So
got to think about this: women glorify and they were fascinated by being called cougars. That was the thing. That was the thing. Oh, everybody's a cougar. You've seen it on TV. You've seen it with yourself, with your friends, and all that. And because they glorified it, and because they kind of was fascinated with it and had a fascination with it, I think the whole society got on board with it, and it was more like they were praised for being cougars and saying, "Hey, this is what they're doing." Unfortunately, I didn't think that was the right thing for them to do, but you can't blame men for you guys reveling and basking in the glory of being called something and running with it. You know what I mean? So all of
there's
the things that you're talking
cougars
about,
who
women
are proud
have
of
kind of ignited it to have these certain phrases out there about ages and timelines and things like that.
I think you're right about that because there are a lot of things that I feel like women glorify only because it takes the stigma off of them having to face the reality of, yeah, you know what, that's really not cool. I mean, it's flattering that a young guy thinks that I'm attractive, but am I going to like get in the souped up Dodge and be riding around the city like on a high pitched
Right.
engine? No. Thank you for the people that I've seen on social media that's like, hey, beautiful, and I'm like, come on, you like seven. I'm not like this is not my thing. I just want women to understand that if it's cool for you, then it's cool for you. Everybody has their own thing, but I'm just saying, have enough confidence to not put yourself in those positions because I mean, unless you get what you want to get out of it. Some people just want what they want out of it and then they could drop it. But if you're really looking for a relationship or you're really looking for somebody in your life, then I would say cool out, slow down, take your time. Um, and there's plenty of fish in the sea, regardless of what people say. There's plenty of them, and we all know. You just got to pick the right one.
Yeah, but I'll say this: a lot of women don't believe there's plenty of fish in the sea now, and as they get older, and again, this timeline and this age thing, because they don't see it. They see themselves as their body is changing. Things are getting that things are not as perky as they used to be. Um, um, there's the gut checks coming. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. Things are getting thicker. Instead of getting thick toned, it's more thick flubbing type things. And again, these are words that I don't want to use it, but these are terms that women are using when they talk to me. Like, I got this on it. I'll take a picture when I lose 25 more pounds. I mean, it's all that. And I've never made a woman feel like, their natural body and their natural, how they evolved, their natural evolution of their body. I've never made a woman feel that's their problem or that's an issue. They always come to me saying things like that, especially during a podcast. They want to say, well, when I'm working out now, so I can get this and I get me a man, blah, blah. And I'm like, yo, you can get you a man now. Like, you don't have to go out there and spend all this money in the gym and come wintertime, you don't even use it. You back in the kitchen.
Eat the cake, anime, eat the cake. Because
so
it doesn't matter. If somebody is into you, they into you.
Exactly.
Okay. And that's something that a lot of people really need to understand. I don't care what your age is. I don't care what your size is. I don't care what it is. Me and my girlfriend, I want to probably had to be like 20 years ago. We were in Harlem walking around on Valentine's Day. Me and her best friends been best friends our whole entire lives. And we are laughing at each other because neither one of us had a Valentine. So we was each other's Valentines, and we was going to get something to eat because it was on a Sunday. We were going to brunch. And we go to brunch, and there was this girl and this guy. And of course, you as a woman, we look at the woman first and be like, we ain't seeing her, right?
See?
But
We don't do it to each other.
what is it that he saw in her was whatever it was that he saw in her. He saw in her enough to buy her balloons, to buy her candy, for him to be holding her hand walking down the street while we both standing next to each other. And she's like, and I'm like, but you and me. So
like
so
let it
we're
go
together. And they are having a lovely love day, and we're walking together trying to find someplace where we can get in without a reservation. So I say that to say it doesn't matter what you look like. Well, it kind of does matter what you look like, but to the other person, it doesn't matter. If they are into you, they are into you. Okay.
Right. And look, that's why I was going to circle back into that, because this is how this whole podcast started, or part one started, where the woman wanted to feel special, and that guy made that girl feel special, no matter what y'all thought that she looked like.
Right.
She discerned that he was into her that way. Now, whether he's into her at that time because it's Valentine's Day, he want to get him a little something. You know, that's another story. That's another podcast. But you know, but in all seriousness, you know, I just wanted to make sure that you got whatever trigger came out, that you expressed it, because it really seemed like it hit a nerve, and so much that we didn't get the scripture in the last part. So we definitely got to get the scripture now. So let me get the scripture in and let you know, and read that for the audience, and then we get ready to do that. So we wanted to bring you for the See Me podcast, Psalms 118 and 22. Can you read that for the audience, Harlem Brown?
Absolutely. The stone that the builders rejected became the cornerstone.
Ain't that crazy? Think about that. Every woman should read this scripture and know that there's value in them, regardless of what one other person sees in them. Somebody else is going to come. And really what we wanted to say in this podcast, and you know, we had done a trial before, and really the name of this podcast was supposed to be Your Trash or Your Treasure. Right. And one man's trash is another man's treasure. And we changed it to See Me because we wanted to keep it positive. We wanted to make there, and we never wanted to refer to any person as trash. It's just a term that is used out there. So don't get us wrong. Please don't put words in our mouths like Harlem Brown did with me, put words in my mouth. Like I was saying something, but I ain't going to say nothing about that. But no, I'm just kidding. But let's know that somebody's going to see you for you. You just have to have the patience, and you have to have the discernment to pick the right person, because again, the whoever you go out with is your choice. You have to say yes.
Yes.
And if you're not feeling special, then you, unfortunately, you chose somebody that is choosing not to make you special. But if you choose somebody that
prioritizing, just understand that, you know, I think another question that I had kind of similar to that question is a priority question, right? So I had somebody who was saying something about what do men prioritize, almost kind of thing, right? In the sequence of how relationships go, right? Yeah. So it could be, I have to take care of this, and this, and this, and this, and then I got you. Don't worry about it, but I got to finish this first. And so I think it all comes with knowing your worth, understanding who you are, knowing who you're with. Like you said, I think we talked about in the last one. Just, you know, sometimes, you know, being in a relationship and one person is more busier than the other person, right? And the person not understanding that, okay, I'm doing all of this and this and this and this, and then you want my undivided attention, and I give you that, but it seems never to be enough because you want more and more and more. That also is something that like comes up, and it doesn't mean, and I can't speak for a man, but I would hope that doesn't mean just because I'm busy that you're not a priority. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I just wanted to touch on that because we were talking about that as well. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. And we're going to elaborate on that because that's going to probably be one of our next podcasts that's coming up. Because what do you prioritize? What do men prioritize when it comes to a woman? And what does a woman prioritize when it comes to a man?
Yes.
And it's going to be crazy. Excuse me. It's going to be crazy because you don't know what that, excuse me, what that outcome is going to be. And I'm curious to know because when you talk about priority, now you're talking about that question that always seems to come up in our podcast, and what makes the relationship work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Man, I'm glad we got that in. Please, women and men, Psalms 118:22.
Right.
Psalms 118:22 will show you that they didn't want to mess with his stone, but it became the cornerstone.
They rejected it. Like,
yeah, like,
nah,
hey,
I don't want that. I don't want that.
But that one stone became the cornerstone of something big. And that can happen in your life. And it will happen in your life when you believe it and when you have faith that it's going to happen. So any last words there, Harlem Brown?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, yeah, I'm good.
The last words is don't hit a nerve with Harlem Brown because
no, there are some things I will stand.
Don't trigger Harlem Brown because
I will stand hard on. You know, women feeling because I just know women feel this way, and I really hate to see women just give up and feel like that. Like just
that. And I know what you mean. And I know the neck and head was rolling and I was
doing it. Okay. That was it. That's enough. I ain't gonna do it no more.
That's all good. But as we in all our podcasts, trying to do something will keep you in the same place. But when you actually do something, your place has no limitations. I am your host, Delay Bloomer. That is my co-host, Harlem Brown. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Yes.